Hello and welcome to Rob from the Internet Talks About Beer, a show where we discuss different styles of beer, beer history, beer flavor profiles. We give shout outs to breweries we think make exceptional beer, and we talk about whatever else comes to mind during the course of the conversation. I'm Rob from the Internet. Let's talk about beer. All right, so joining me today is Rob Dicucci from Lake of the Woods Brewing, a brewery I actually discovered completely by accident. I was on the Ontario Beer Delivery Index website, randomly scrolled, and it ended up there, and I clicked it, and I bought some beer. And it turns out it's really good beer. So, Rob, if you could, tell me a little bit about yourself, how you got into the world of beer, and what you do when you're not talking to people like me about beer.
Sure, sounds good. My name's Rob Dicucci, Director of Marketing here at Lake of the Woods Brewing Company. And happy to be here. Thanks for inviting us, and really glad you enjoyed the beer and found us. We are a little off the beaten track. We're in Kenora, Ontario, so that's about 2 hours from the Manitoba border. So we're pretty much on the other end of the province, or the far end of the province from where you are. I assume you're located somewhere in southern Ontario.
I am in Brantford, yeah. So I'm in Southwest Ontario, about an hour and a half from the border of Michigan.
Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, it's a nice area for sure. My brother lives around there. But yeah, so Lake of the Woods Brewing Company, like, we started here, the brewery, in 2013, and we've been, we actually are in an old fire hall. Our main sort of flagship location is in a 109-year-old fire hall. So pretty cool spot, very cool tap room, full service menu, all the beers on tap. So yeah, it's a good spot in the summer. We're right on Lake of the Woods, hence the name Lake of the Woods Brewing Company. For those of you who haven't heard of it, it's pretty darn nice place in the summer and winter. I mean, year round for all sorts of outdoor activities and boating and snowmobiling and all that stuff. So we're pretty northern, but we love it up here, and I think that's we thought we'd brew some good beer so we could enjoy that while we're enjoying the outdoors up here. So.
Hey, yeah, no, I mean, I get it. Everything I've tried from you guys so far has been fantastic. I was lucky enough last year to get a couple bottles of your Deep Six, the Russian Imperial Stout, which was great. And I've got a couple bottles of this year's batch that I pre-ordered, so can't wait to try that one either. I just drank your Sultana Gold. Was it yesterday or the day before? And that was really nice. I mean, a nice light. That's an easy drinker. You could. I mean, I don't know about you, but I could easily knock back a sixer of that without even thinking about it.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. It's that was one of our first sort of one of the first beers we brewed here. Knowing our location being in Northern Ontario, and being a little bit more remote, we're a little further behind in most things. Craft beer, was still sort of a lot newer around here than it had already been around a bit in down south in Toronto and stuff. So we thought, let's do a beer that is approachable, and that everybody in our area here wouldn't be afraid of. So yeah, nice North American blonde ale.
Yep. Yeah. Nice beer flavored beer.
It is. It actually does have some flavor still, so that's good.
Yes.
It's not it's not that light, but it's one of our favorites. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of light beers, one of the beers we're going to be talking about today, folks, is Channel Marker Light Lager. So, if you would give me a little bit of the rundown on this beer, its name, history, how it came about, things like that.
Sure. Well, Channel Marker is it's probably hard to tell by the illustration on there, but that is a marker on Lake, or a representation of a marker on Lake of the Woods. So basically those sort of mark directional routes on the lake. So normally you'll see one from point to point across the bays, so that you know which route you're following and where to go. So a lot of our names, the names of our beer, really relate to the area, either the area directly, or our history, or something that's happened in the area. So we'll get to later with the Dead Man's Switch. That's quite an interesting story behind that one as well. But yeah, channel marker. So basically, we have we sort of have beer name brainstorming sessions, and we constantly, I've got a list of probably 400 of them in my phone. Some good, some not so good, but and then depending on when we come up with the ideas,
Yes.
often it's over a few too many beer. But yeah, this one was on the list, and we sort of as we are developing new beers, I just sort of scroll through and see what name jumps out at me that's going to actually suit this style and that would work really well with it. So yeah, this one popped up, and it's a light lager, but it's 4%. But it actually is it's got a nice little citrusy hop to it, it's a nice crisp lager, but it's good call. Maybe we should open those up while we're.
Oh yeah, no, that's part of the joy of this show is you talk about the beer and you drink the beer.
Absolutely, yeah. I should probably wet my whistle here while I'm talking about it. So yeah, really nice beer, 4%. And a lot of people would almost compare it to a session IPA in a way. Like it's not quite as hoppy as a session IPA, but it really does have some of that citra hop to it.
It really does. It's got a beautiful aroma. Something you typically don't find on really light lagers that come in at around 4% is you don't get a whole lot of aroma most of the time.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is it does. It smells kind of like an IPA.
Yeah, and even though it is a lager, so it's sort of a unique hybrid type of a beer. But I mean, yeah, we just wanted something that someone could a nice, refreshing beer that's crisp and got a nice little bit of a citrusy, hoppy flavor to it and aroma, and you could sit on the dock and enjoy in the summer. Or I mean, that's a year-round beer for sure. But it's
it's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, this is definitely this definitely falls into the category of crushable beers. This would be fantastic sitting out on the deck. If you're having a cookout or friends over, or sitting in front of the fireplace or the wood burning stove, this is going to go great either way there. And you could drink a few of them and not feel guilty about it, and not be completely blasted after drinking a few of them.
Yes, exactly. And we actually just had the, let me see if I can find that. We just had the calories, we just had them analyzed, and they came in, sorry, you might have to.
Oh, no, it's all good. I'll just sit here and enjoy this beer.
That's good. So, we just had it analyzed, and it comes in for 473 milliliters, comes in at 170 calories. So, not too bad for.
That's not bad at all.
I would say that's a reasonably low cal beer. And we were always curious, sort of what we had a bunch of our beer analyzed. We were always pretty curious as what it would come in at. So we were pretty happy with that number, actually. So.
Yeah, no, that definitely well within the realm of light beer in terms of calories, and it's definitely well within the realm of light beer in terms of a color profile and flavor. I mean, it's great. This would definitely be. I mean, yes, it is a year-round beer, but I could really see this being a big seller when it's warmer out. It's one of those type of beers.
Yeah, 100%. We and a large part of our portfolio actually are pretty sort of approachable. I would say, easy drinking. It's just the region we're in. Like, I mean, summers are sort of peak time, so it just so happens, and just the region we're in, everyone just sort of likes a nice, easy drinking beer. We have some innovation, of course. We do porters, stouts, double, triple IPAs, whatever it may be. We're doing that, but sort of a lot of our cores are pretty easy to pretty approachable. So yeah.
Now there's a Lake of the Woods in Minnesota. Is that associated with you guys as well? Brewery?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that is one of our locations. Yeah, we've partnered with some American friends down there, and have a brewery on the south shore of Lake of the Woods. And
nice.
So yeah, you can get there by boat. I mean, it would be a little treacherous because there's a big stretch of water you have to cross. Once you get down to the south end of Lake of the Woods, it's called the Big Traverse, and you can't see the other sides, much like the Great Lakes. And but it's pretty shallow, so it gets, because it's quite shallow and vast, it gets some big rollers on it. So you have to be pretty careful.
You have to be careful. Yep, no doubt.
And in the winter, of course, when the lake freezes over, there's ice roads, so you can actually drive your car down to the U.S. from here in Canada on the lake. And the border crossing, it's pretty funny. It's on an island there, and it's basically like a phone booth, and you just kind of go in and just you check in at the with the U.S. Customs, and then go on your way. So
that's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. Hey, for people who might be interested, if they are, light lagers, typical light lager serving temperature would be between 40 and 45 degrees Fahrenheit. That would be 5 to 7 degrees Celsius. And a glass like this, something with a smaller mouth so that it funnels that aroma and flavor right up to you. So, this one's great. This is a Lake of the Woods glass because they were kind enough to send me a glass. And I loved the thing on the back where it has the panic line. I saw that and I just started laughing. I'm like, yeah, that's a pretty good idea. I need another beer.
Yeah, right. No, exactly. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Everyone gets a kick out of that. It's just sort of a little cue for our servers in the tap room to make sure they get over to the table when you're at, when they hit that line. So
right. Yeah. Awesome. Well, I'm going to finish this and we can start talking about the other beer.
Sounds good.
See, now I still have half of the channel marker for after the show.
Exactly. Yeah. We'll enjoy those afterwards for sure.
That's right. So the second beer we're going to be talking about is Dead Man's Switch. It's a New England style IPA. Tell me a little bit about this beer, if you would, Rob.
Absolutely. So it's our foray. What's the word for foray into foray? Never mind. Let's cut that out. It's our
it's your foray.
Yeah, foray. I kept wanting to say foyer. Anyway, it's our foray.
It is an entry. Okay.
Yeah. Right. Into the New England IPA, sort of the hazy, juicy IPAs. We've done a number of them in the past. Some New England, some not. We really found that using the Vermont yeast made a big difference for us in this beer. So we really wanted to stick to the traditional New England style. And it's a very nice beer. Comes in at 6.8%, 40 IBU, 5 SRM. So super hazy. It's one of my favorites right now. I'm an IPA guy, so this is my kind of go-to. You can't have too many of them, but based on the at 6.8. But we just developed a 4% session IPA, which is super nice too. So you can have a couple of these and then move on to a session, which is quite nice if you want to keep those hops going. So.
Yeah, so for the numbers nerds out there, he said it was a 5 SRM, 40 IBUs, and 6.8 ABV, which puts it squarely in the middle of the range for everything New England IPA.
We wanted to keep it. I mean, while 6.8 is still up there, and it's we wanted to. This is listed at the LCBO and the MBLL in Manitoba. So we wanted to keep it relatively in the mid range. We didn't want to get into the higher ABVs for sure. But again, very nice beers. The smooth. I mean, the yeast.
Yes.
The new. That yeast that is used in there, and the grain bill in here just really actually balances out the high hops. I mean, so it's just super smooth and really nice to drink.
It's got a nice aroma. I get citrus on the aroma, but
hey, give me some of that. I can't.
It also I don't know. It kind of has like a vegetal smell to it, and
Hey, Rob.
Oh, hey, how's it going?
Good. Sorry, I couldn't get the link to work upstairs, so I'm muscling in on Rob's camera here.
Pull up a chair. I
Yeah.
mean, that works.
It's good.
Here, pour me some beer.
Sounds
That's right. Pour him some beer.
we're onto the Dead Man Switch
Sweet.
right now, so we're just giving that a go.
Yeah. So, like I was saying, it's got the citrus aroma, but I'm also picking up a fairly present like vegetal smell to it. Not quite piney like you get with a lot of IPAs, but it's got that, it smells like something you just dug up in the woods. It's got that kind of,
It's dank.
it's a dankness to it. Yeah. It's got a great color. And it is indeed hazy. You cannot see through it. You can't see my fingers on the other side of the glass. Like a dummy, I put my hand here. Of course, you can't see through that. But
Which finger are you holding up?
yeah. Oh, this is an adult show. I might be holding up this finger.
We couldn't tell.
Yeah, so that's the beautiful thing about this show. It is done purely for my love of beer. There is no monetization, no sponsorship of any sort other than my own. So feel free to speak your mind and gesture as you see fit.
Okay, we'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, keep that in mind. So this smells really good. I have to admit, I'm not a huge IPA person. My favorite type of IPA is a traditional English IPA. I'm not a huge fan of the New England or the West Coast styles, but it doesn't stop me from drinking them in the pursuit of knowledge of all things beer.
For sure.
So if you were to pick up a beer, what's your favorite style? What do you like drinking?
My absolute favorite style is stouts. The higher ABV, the better. So if given the choice and there's a barrel aged stout anywhere available, that is what I will gravitate to. If stouts and porters are not available, then my go-to is things like ESBs and Vienna lagers, and then everything else.
Yeah, no, it's good to have a go-to style for sure.
Yeah, it's funny. I was talking
time of year of Oktoberfest, so a good Marzen lager is up your.
Oh, love. There's a local brewery to me. They're about 10 minutes away that they've only been open. I think they've only been open for like a year or two. And they have a Marzen that they still actually have some on tap because a lot of people around here aren't really familiar with the style. Around here, most people are still drinking their Coors Light and their Molson and things like that. So they go into a craft brewery and the things they gravitate to are the golden lagers and things like that. But they've got this fantastic Marzen on tap. So I've been going, and since they're only 10 minutes away, I've been going down like every other day and filling a growler and drinking it because once it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah. Once you crack the growler, you don't want to leave that too long either. So you got to make sure you get through it.
Well, I mean, there's only 4 glasses in a growler if you're using regular sized glasses.
That's what I keep telling my wife.
That's right. Well, see, I'm in the boat there. If I go buy a growler, I have to buy 2 because we both like the same styles of beer.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it makes it real easy when we go places. I'm like, I'll take 2 of those and 2 of those and 2 of those. But yeah, this is really nice. I mean, it's got some bitterness to it, but because it's only 40 IBU, it's not an overwhelming bitterness. And it does have some fruitiness when you're drinking it, and you'd never know it was a 6.8. It does not drink like a 6.8.
We like to call it approachable.
It is approachable.
New England, it's approachable, right? So it shouldn't scare anybody off, and its flavor profile, again, I call it approachable.
Yeah, and I've used that word a lot earlier for the first few minutes of the podcast here. Just
well, there you go.
But yeah, right. So I mean
that's great. Because, I mean, the whole premise of my show is to try and introduce people who might be a little bit hesitant to try different beer styles to nudge them out of their comfort zone. And anything that is approachable is things that you're gonna want them to try. Let me rewind a little bit. Since you joined us late, introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about how you got into the beer world and what you do when you're not talking to losers like me about beer.
So I'm Taras Manzi, President, CEO, and one of the founders of Lake of the Woods Brewing Company. This is our life. This is what we do. We've been in it for going on 10 years now, I guess. Doors have been open for 8. We have a love of the North. We have a love of this company. We have a love of beer. So that sort of drives us in our go-to and our daily. And there's lots going on in the company. You know, we have multiple busy tap rooms and multiple manufacturing sites. So, and that's tempered with, you know, retail and with commercial sales. So we're busy. We're a busy core group of folks, and always something sort of going on here. And whether we're trying new beer styles or trying somebody else's beer, you know, it's sort of, and with the whole wrapper of trying to have fun at the same time.
Right.
A little time out on the lake in the summertime or ice fish in the winter. That's sort of who we are and what we do.
Awesome. So, you know, when we've been talking back and forth on Twitter, I had no idea I was talking with the big cheese. I mean, come on. I just thought you were a schmo like me. You're a big cheese.
I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm not even sure how I even send messages on Twitter. It just sort of happens now. So, yeah, I mean, we're pretty heavily invested. So, like Rob does a lot of the social media, and we have a team that helps with social media, and we like to, you know, respond to inquiries. And I pretty much field a lot of the Twitter stuff because it's like, I guess it must be an old man kind of technology. No one else really deals with it, but I see
it goes with the white hairs.
I try to respond. So, but yeah, we're pretty active, all of us, in responding to folks on Instagram and Facebook. I mean, those comments are coming straight from us. So
awesome. That's always good to know. And people like to know who is actually responding to them, and knowing that it's, you know, someone who's super invested in the company and not, you know, I mean, obviously you're a co-founder, so you're obviously invested, but you know, it's not like just some third party company that's putting out social media posts for
yeah, no,
so.
you know, we've from day one, and we're very lucky to have someone like Rob and Rob's caliber, who had his own design and media company, who came into the fold. We've done it from day one in-house here. So all the branding that you see, all the marketing efforts, the storytelling, the designs on the cans, all of that is just through inside think tank, you know, all of us, and headed by Rob, taking that on. I think honestly, we get a kick out of it. It's something we really enjoy. It's sort of the highlight of our day is when we're doing these things and building these campaigns, building these concepts, and trying to put a fun wrapper around the liquid that's in the container.
Right. Awesome. I need to take a pause for a minute. I actually have a contractor here who's installing a dishwasher, and he has a question for me. So
No problem.
I'll be right back.
Unless it's a horror movie.
What's that?
Well, they always say, "I'll be right back," and they never do. You never say, "I'll be right back."
This could be the world's
This
longest
could be
podcast.
it. Yeah, it could be. We're just waiting.
We'll just sit here until the police arrive.
Ghostface, something. Yeah. This is a tasty victual.
Yeah. You know what? That's interesting. I thought this was a sleeve can, but it's not.
It just looks like it, eh?
Yeah, I don't know. There must be sleeved ones down there, though. I swear there was. Either that, or there's something happened to the color, because some of them are different. You notice that?
Can? Yeah. You'll have to talk to
the printer
manufacturer on that BSG.
Yeah, we'll have a look and see what happened. He's going to edit all this stuff eventually, anyway. So you could probably do a little introduction. Just say hi. I'm Taras Manzi.
I just did.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, I must have been daydreaming.
It is Aloha Friday. What happened?
I know. I was going to bring that up just a minute ago. I usually have my shirt hanging in the on the. Oh, jeez.
Want me to get that? I'll get it.
I wonder if you can see if it's wider screen than what's on here.
Lake of the Woods. One second. FSET's calling about setting up the scanner. What scanner?
Scanner?
Do we know what scanner? What kind of scanner?
Must be in the Kara's office.
Okay. So who do you need to speak with, you know? Okay. Well, Brandon is upstairs. I could transfer you. Not sure
I don't think his phone's working. Well, maybe they got it working.
if he's connected to the what? Stand. Well, he does the one upstairs, absolutely. We have one. You don't have a scanner down here that you use, do you? No. So there's one on the third floor. There's one in the office by Kara. I'll actually see if I can transfer you to her first, and then. Do you know Kara's extension in that office?
And retail store. Aaron Scott, it's 9008.
All right, sorry about that.
No problem. Did you get it sorted out?
Yeah, so we have.
He's leaving the dishwasher or what?
Yeah, so we had a Blomberg dishwasher, which is, it's a nice German brand, but the pump went out on it, and a replacement pump for it was $575.
Wow.
And there's only one company within 100 kilometers of us that actually can service them, because they require specific contracts to service them. And they were like, yeah, well, we can look at it in January. So we're like, yeah, no. So we bought a new dishwasher from Home Depot, and they get the thing, hey, your install is today between noon and 5, and of course the guy shows up at 4 o'clock when I'm supposed to be recording.
That's right. He's game.
Yeah, and dishwashers, and he was just wanted me to turn the power and the water back on. So but it is what it is. We can edit all this out, and it won't be in the show. So. Awesome.
Is the screen, like when we're on it like this, is it going to be portrait mode like this, or does it landscape us? Because I can't really see both of us in the. How does it end up?
It should if your camera supports a widescreen mode, it should default to that for me.
Okay.
But because we're both on the same screen, it kind of like truncates what we see.
Yep. Okay. Perfect. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, otherwise, just scrunch in and get nice and cozy.
I didn't have a shower today.
Yeah.
No. Awesome. So what's the history with the name Dead Man's Switch with the clothespin?
You know the story.
I do. Well, on the back of the can, it gives you a little bit of a rundown on it, but I think it was May 10th. 1973, somewhere around there. Early May, early 70s, early May. A gentleman walked into our local Kenora CIBC branch bank with a bunch of dynamite strapped to his chest. It's a pretty intense story. And he had a balaclava on, and he was going in there to rob the bank, I guess. And he had a dead man's switch in his mouth. The dead man's switch is a clothespin, which, if it is released, will, detonate the bomb. I don't know why this guy, nobody knows who he is or who he was or what he was doing in Kenora. To this day, still mystery. Yeah. Yeah. But he didn't end up making a successful attempt at the robbery. So I would say. Well, no, he was successful at the robbery. He didn't escape. He did not escape. No. Yeah. So he was taken out by local police, basically. Yeah. And when he was tossing the bag in the back of the truck and went to go move around it, they had a clear shot, and the instruction was to
take
stop
the shot. Yep.
Right. Yeah. So the interesting thing is, I think we found in doing some research is the only type of incident that's occurred that's closed the Trans-Canada Highway.
Right. For an entire day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was because the Trans-Canada, well, at the time ran right through downtown Kenora. So, it shattered most of the windows on Main Street. It's pretty interesting. Like, you can actually hear a live radio broadcast if you Google it. The radio station was across the street, and they were broadcasting live as it was happening. So, pretty crazy story. And we just as I said, we try to whether it's something from Lake of the Woods, like a channel marker, or a story, sort of
or local history, right? Like local lore, that kind of stuff. We try to incorporate that in our branding. With that story too, the interesting thing was many years later, a contractor was checking out a neighboring building's HVAC unit, and they found the robber's revolver on the roof.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Many years later. Yeah. So,
and there's been a book written about it, all kinds of stuff, and it's still, again, it's sort of one of those local lore or local incidents that kind of people talk about still.
Oh, for sure. And it's, I think it'd make a darn good movie too, to be honest.
That's pretty cool. I mean, so I don't know if you guys are aware, I'm a recent immigrant to Canada. I've only been in the country for 3 years. I'm from the United States, so I love hearing bits of history about all sorts of places because I have one of those brains where anything that's trivia and not required for my daily life are the things I remember, and the things that I really need to remember I don't. So now I'm going to have this story stuck in my head for the rest of my life.
Yeah, you will.
Where are you from in the States?
I am from a town called Rockford, Illinois. It's about an hour and a half northwest of Chicago, real close to the Illinois-Wisconsin border.
Okay, yep. Nice.
So
is that named for Rockford, or?
It's named because the Swedish immigrants who came there had to ford across the river, and it was very rocky.
Got it. Okay.
I love how the naming of things back then was a lot simpler than it is now.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, this is a rocky ford. The name of the town is now Rockford. Yeah. I moved up here 3 years ago after my wife and I got married. She decided she did not want to move to the States due to the political climate, and I did not blame her. So she asked if I'd be willing to move here, and I said, "Yep, I'm willing to go anywhere." So it doesn't matter.
Well, welcome to Canada.
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah, it's been good. Seeing all the shenanigans that have happened the last few years in the United States, I do not regret my decision one bit.
We see a lot, mostly on the news. But yeah, it seems like a lot going on down there.
Yeah. So if people happen to be going through your neck of the woods up in Kenora, where can they find you guys?
Well,
I'll go get that. You go.
Telephone.
Yeah, maybe I just turn the volume down on that. Sorry.
No worries. Life happens, man. I mean, I had to walk away to take care of something here at the house. So.
Well, at least we can edit it.
Yeah. That's the beauty. That's the beauty of it is, once we're done recording, I can download everything and edit out all this stuff. So
awesome. So how many podcasts have you done so far?
Probably not.
This will be season 2, episode 16. So that will be 42 episodes.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah.
So do you? Is it mostly Ontario or Canadian or you?
It's a little bit of everybody. It's U.S. and Canada. I mean, I haven't had anybody. I'll take it back. I've had one guest from England. So it's funny. People ask me, they're like, I'm interested in being on your show, but I'm not an expert on beer. And I'm like, great, neither am I. I'm just a guy who likes to drink beer. You know, I do a little bit of home brew. I've been a home brewer for the last 15 or so years, but I'm by no means an expert. I'm like, do you like beer? Do you not like beer? Do you want to talk about why you like or don't like beer? If so, you can be on my show.
Yeah, nice. Awesome. Yeah, I'll have to check.
Yeah.
Out. Yeah, no, it's cool.
Yeah, it's it's very lightly scripted. It's very lightly edited. I mean, most of the time I don't edit anything out unless there's a big issue. Like I had one guest where they had a really terrible internet connection, so I would have to ask a question and wait like 30 seconds for them to get my question and then them to respond. So I had to edit out all that. I had to edit out all that empty air. But other than that, I don't really edit a whole lot because I want it to feel as genuine as it as can be. It's literally just supposed to be a couple people sitting around drinking beer and talking about it.
Awesome. Well, that's good. Good to know. Well, speaking of, I'm sure you've noticed Teraz's shirt. Today is Friday.
Nice Hawaiian shirt. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is it Casual Friday?
Aloha Friday.
Yeah.
Every Friday.
Yeah. Aloha Friday. Awesome.
And of course, I forgot my shirt today, so I usually have it hanging in the office. But
loser.
It's only been how many years? It's okay,
I know. I get it. I usually.
At least I stay true, no matter if it's hot or cold. Got an Aloha shirt.
He also wears them at least 2 other times a week, though. So.
I mean, it sounds like Teras and I are kindred spirits because I love my Hawaiian shirts and I love like today I love wearing like work style shirts and I have a ton of them from different breweries because they're just so comfortable. I mean, just like Hawaiian shirts, they're nice and roomy and comfortable and they don't bind funny and
so you got that's Spearhead.
That's Spearhead, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, I actually just had Josh on my show. How was it? Was it last week? The week before? So, I mean, I record my episodes pretty far in advance, so his episode won't air until like till the end of March or something like that. But yeah, I've had him on. I'm going to have on. I've got the owner of Harmon Brewing coming on shortly. I have a friend in Wisconsin who owns 2 breweries, so I had him on my show. I've had several. I had Sam from Sawdust City. He was on my show. Yeah,
great. Yeah, so I guess back to the beer. I think I'm not sure if there's anything else more to say about the Dead Man Switch, but again, just sort of one of our newer releases. Just kind of went live. I think it's full time now at the LCBO and the MBLL. So
nice.
Yeah, so we're pretty excited about that one.
Awesome. Anyway, as I asked before, we were so rudely interrupted by phone calls. If people are in Kenora, where are you guys located at in town?
We are right on what would have been the Trans-Canada Highway. So it would be the main drag as you're going through Kenora, as they say. We are on 350 2nd Street South. So yeah, it's hard to miss. We're in a huge, Kenora is one of Kenora's original fire halls. So it's a big, massive brick building with a 6-story bell tower. And so you can almost, you can pretty much see it from anywhere.
So in other words, it's pretty hard to miss. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Easy to find.
So what beers of yours are available in the LCBO for people like me who don't live that far north?
So we have a number of cores. We sent a lot of them to you, so you should. And if it's not in a local LCBO, you can certainly bring it in because LCBO delivers anywhere in Ontario, right?
Right.
We have the Sultana Gold, which I saw that you've tried, Blonde Ale.
And enjoyed, yes.
The Forgotten Lake, which is our Blueberry Ale. Dead Man Switch, Channel Marker. What am I missing? Looking at those cans.
Sneaky Peach.
Sneaky Peach, which is a seasonal, which will be available through December, and we'll probably see it again for spring, summer of next year. We have another couple of releases as well. Oh, Nautical Disaster.
right? Our nautical disaster, our dry hopped IPA, and then we've got, of course, Lakeside.
Lakeside #1 seller.
Lakeside Kolsch. That's a really nice beer. If you haven't tried that one.
I have not tried that one yet.
Yeah, so
You'll drink that in one sip.
Yeah, probably. I do like a good Kolsch. They're nice and crisp and clean. And the problem is they go down too damn easy.
Oh yeah, they go quick.
They do. That's definitely our best seller right now in the LCBO. And it's a difficult beer to brew too. I mean, Kolsch's are
very technical. Yeah,
they're very technical, and there's nothing to hide behind really in a Kolsch. It's
right. I mean, just like a Pilsner, I mean, you have to be on point because there's no place to hide mistakes.
That's right, exactly. So
yeah.
And one kind of cool thing that we do here at Lake of the Woods Brewing Company is we krausen our beer as well. So krausening, not a lot of micro or breweries of any size really do it anymore. The original sort of way that you would carbonate a beer. As a home brewer, you're probably aware of the technique. It's just naturally carbonated. So takes a little bit of extra effort, and it's secondary fermentation, but
yep.
Ay
caramba, the phones.
You know what? The phone never rings in this office except for like today. So.
Oh no, that's fine. I mean, like I said, you guys are busy people. It's real life. It's not. We're not sitting on a soundstage somewhere. You're in your office. I'm in beautiful basement of my of my casa here. So
there you go. Is that a Peloton behind you?
No, that is what brand is it? Soul. It's just a standard magnetic style exercise bike, and then beyond that is there's actually a treadmill, but my microphone is kind of
it's behind the there you go.
Yeah, that's for when the weather is crap and I can't get outside to run, which is pretty far and few between. It has to be pretty crappy weather for me not to go outside because I hate running on the treadmill.
yeah, no kidding. Do you get a decent amount or any snow there at all, or is it pretty mild?
We're in like a really weird spot. So Hamilton has like their own microclimate. It's kind of like a Carolinian thing where they don't get a whole lot of snow. They get a lot of rain in the winter, and we're like right in between there and where the snow belt really is for London. So we get a lot of freezing rain in the winter. We don't get a ton of snow, which is fine. I mean, it just means I have to go out and use a lot more salt, but I never really have to shovel.
Right. Probably a lot of scraping of windshields though.
Only if we're going somewhere. We have a garage, so we keep our cars in the garage at night. So
good old GTA Heat Island.
What's that?
Yeah.
GTA Heat Island.
What's that?
The GTA is a giant heat island because it's a massive city.
Oh, I see.
So it just traps heat and melts snow as it comes down.
All of the
turns to rain, freezing rain. Yeah.
Their
own weather pattern.
Yeah, and we're like we're on the outer fringe of that where we're at. So we get the cold air coming in from the snow belt region, and we get the warm air coming in from the Golden Horseshoe area there, and we're right in the middle. So we get just sloppy mess. We don't get a ton of actual snow.
And that's all tempered by lake effect too, right? So
Yep. Yeah. So if you're familiar with the escarpment region there, in the Hamilton and Toronto area, we're actually right on top of the escarpment. So we get that warm air coming up from the bottom, and we get the cold air coming down from the other end. So it makes for like I said, slushy and icy weather. Not a ton of snow.
Yeah. We get everything here. Like our winters start like that, and then end up in. You might as well, polar vortex city,
frozen wasteland.
Yeah, and then
frozen wastelands.
Yeah, where you can't go outside, or like if you go outside with a glass of water and throw it in the air, it freezes before it hits the ground. That kind of stuff. So
right,
it's chilly. So lots of sitting indoors and playing cards and drinking a few beers.
Sitting out
drinking beer, yeah,
ice shack,
yeah,
drinking beers, fishing,
ice shack for sure. So lots
of
pretty cool stuff going on in Lake of the Woods, especially down in the southern part of the lake in Minnesota. The ice fishing down there is insane. Like, they have hundreds of thousands of people come up there from the Minneapolis, Twin City, or
Dakotas.
Yep.
All over, yeah.
So,
There's actually usually by Christmas or by New Year's, first week of January, there's anywhere in the neighborhood of about 10,000 ice shacks within 20 miles of shore. And they actually have plowed roads with street names and lights. There's a bar. There's a pop-up bar that happens on the ice down there, all inflatable. You can fish from inside the bar.
that's your table.
Yeah, your table. They have TVs, slinging beer. Oh, yeah.
God damn, I got to come up there just to witness this spectacle.
Sure. You either have to embrace it or you can't live here, right? Because
Yeah.
otherwise winter can be long and arduous.
For sure.
So I have a question, since I have both of you guys here at the moment. Who came up with the idea for the Deep Six beers?
Good question. It was, I guess, ultimately my idea to kind of try it here on Lake of the Woods, but it was our brewer. We have a brewer from South Africa, Chris Marsh, and he had heard of a brewery down in South Africa that had sunk some beer to the bottom of the ocean, and immediately, light bulb went off in my head, thinking, why couldn't we do that on the lake? So, of course, it's it's not an easy undertaking. So I'm sure everyone's, I mean, we're happy with the amount of interest we've had in it, and people are super excited about it. But it's, we have barges, divers, we're doing it in the, the ice is either just coming off the lake or coming onto the lake, and it's so it's a lot of work. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a cool project.
Yeah, logistically, it's challenging for sure, but it's a rewarding day on the lake. And when we put it in, and it's a rewarding day when it comes out. And there's lots that happens sort of in between and after. I mean, we package all the bottles by hand ourselves. We inspect every bottle that goes out by hand to make sure that the seal's intact, right? When we first talked about the idea of making it happen, Rob actually took the initiative and dropped a dozen bottles off the end of his dock. And that was sort of our prototype to see if it would actually work and what, does this make sense? Blah, blah, blah. And then the next year was last year when we dropped about 3 skids worth down, and this year was 7. So I'm not sure we'll get any bigger than that. So it depends on demand, I guess. But that was a pretty solid undertaking. We've got more of a system down now, I'll say, for procedure and safety and all that kind of stuff. Because if you think about it, we're craning over 3,000 pounds per skid, basically. Yeah. Off the barge into the water, and there's a diver in the water. There's boats milling around, right? So it's all safety first, obviously. But
right.
At the end of the day, it's a pretty cool project. Our customers and fans certainly seem to embrace it, and I think folks look forward to getting that bottle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it was fantastic. Like last year, the packaging was great. It comes in the cool tube, and you guys had some rocks in there and some other stuff. It was great. It's just those little nicety touches. It makes it feel like it is. And it is. It's an exclusive item. I mean, you do only make a limited amount, and it's a premium item at that. It's not exactly the cheapest beer, and for good reason. I mean, you guys have a lot of costs involved in that. I mean, you have your all your costs associated with the like I said, with the barge and diver and keeping everything safe, and so it's kind of cool. I really enjoyed it. The Russian Imperial Stout was fantastic, and thanks.
Oh, you cracked it already, did you?
Well, no, I bought 2 last year.
Oh, okay,
nice.
The
Now
one
I've got another.
That was a bonus.
Yeah, that's one I can drink, and go like, yes, I still have one.
All right. Well,
yeah, and then I also ordered. I ordered 2 for this round as well. It's great, and it was funny. My wife and I were talking about it, and she's like, "Oh, it's really expensive," but I'm like, "Yeah, but I mean, they're way up north. They need all the support they can get."
Yeah. We do. Well, we are Ontario's northernmost brewery, and we're the last town. Kenora is the last town in Ontario on the Trans-Canada. So we're 30 minutes from the border and 2 hours east of Winnipeg.
Yeah.
So for
Winterpeg.
Well, and for us to drive to you would be 25 hours.
Yeah, we looked at it. We were my wife and I love taking road trips and going to breweries and things like that. And we're like, oh, we got to try and get up there. And she's like, that's a really long drive. I'm like, well, so we're gonna take like a couple weeks vacation. We'll just drive and we'll stop at a bunch of different breweries. And
Right. Oh yeah, we get lots of people coming through that are doing just that. And kind of across Ontario, Manitoba, even Saskatchewan, Alberta, whatever, beer tours. So pretty cool.
Yep.
And all of our breweries are within a 2-hour drive of each other around circumnavigating the lake. So our flagship is in Kenora. We have a brewery downtown Winnipeg, and then we have one in Warroad, Minnesota, and each one is a 2-hour drive from each other.
Nice. So it makes it very, very doable in a single day.
Yeah, you probably want a DD.
Yeah, take a bus.
take a bus, party bus.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because the Warroad and Winnipeg location opened months before COVID, sort of the lockdowns, and so we haven't had a real chance to do that kind of stuff. And while we were building it, we're like, yes, we're going to get the bus and we're going to do the tour and get but now that things are sort of, the U.S. borders just reopened today, announced that you don't have to get the test if you want to cross less than 72 hours, which is great, but.
So now we can have the bus.
Yeah. So
well, I tell you what, you guys get a bus, and I will figure out a way for my wife and I to get there to be on that inaugural bus.
Sweet, nice,
that sounds great.
Yeah, you can fly right into Winnipeg, and we can start right there.
Yeah.
So.
There we go. We'll get it done. I mean, I'm not opposed to driving up there either. I mean, I love taking road trips. So I mean, and also lets me discover a whole bunch of different breweries. So
the north is absolutely beautiful, especially when you can drive along Superior. Some of those views there's nothing like them in the rest of the world. Yeah, and then once you get to Lake of the Woods here, well, this is the center of the universe.
Yeah, it's God's country for sure.
Right.
Awesome. Well, guys, we have been talking for, outside of interruptions, we've been talking for about 45 minutes. I know your time is valuable, and it's a Friday afternoon that we're recording this, and you probably have much better things you'd rather be doing than sitting here in your office talking to me. Well, I'd like to thank you. Yeah, drinking more beer. Yeah. I'd like to thank you both for being on the show, and I especially want to thank you for sending me the beers to try from your brewery. I had only had a couple from you before, and now I've got a whole bunch more to try. For people who love IPAs, love the New England style IPA, I highly suggest you try the Dead Man Switch. It is great, and if you're looking for a light lager that you can just kind of slam. Mine is empty because I drank the rest of it while we were talking. The channel marker is great. It's got a nice aroma to it. It's not your typical light lager. It's fantastic. But yeah, if
thanks for the invite, Rob. Really appreciate it.
Oh yeah, no. Thanks. Thank you for being on. I really appreciate it when I can actually talk to people who are at a brewery, who are owners or representatives of a brewery, because it's nice to get other people's names and brands out there, and let people know that there are more choices than just Coors Light and Molson and Labatt.
Absolutely, there's lots out there. So if anything, hopefully folks are drinking local wherever they are.
Yep, exactly. So yeah, this is the point of the show where I say, hey, if you enjoyed what you've seen today, please click like. And if you want to be notified when new episodes come out, please click the little bell. If you have any questions for me or for the guys at Lake of the Woods Brewing, leave it in the comments below. I'll forward anything on that needs to be forwarded on. If you have a suggestion for a beer style or a beer or a guest you'd like me to have on, please leave that in the comments below. Other than that, until next time, I'm Rob from the internet. Cheers.
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 Mine's empty.
Mm. Mm.
Oh, no.